So Nintendo's Reggie Fils Aime has said that the most powerful console doesn't always win. Take a look at the Wii and the PS2. Okay, but before we get to this video, here's the question of the day. Alright, so Nintendo of America's president, Reggie Fils Aime, he has actually expressed his views regarding the Xbox One and the PS4's strength as far as their power in terms of the next-gen systems. He goes, the interesting thing is, if you look at the last two hardware cycles, it wasn't the most powerful machine that won, not in the case of the PS2, nor in the case of the Wii. So in the end, it's our responsibility to show consumers how much fun you can have, because in the end, this is an entertainment business, and we think we got stellar entertainment to make the consumer smile. First of all, I love it that he mentions the previous two generations, but really that's been the case for the past at least 3 generations. Because if you take a look at the 90s, the PS1 won that particular generation, the 5th generation. Wasn't it like it's the first console to sell over 100 million units, destroying the N64 and the Sega Saturn, and whatever else was out at the time. So the PS1 was dominant, and then of course the PS2 in the 6th generation, and the 7th generation was the Wii. The only 3 systems to sell over 100 million units as of today. I don't know, I mean, he chose to use the past 2 generations. It just strikes me kind of interesting, because maybe if he mentioned the PS1 as well, then it would have really like made Nintendo look bad, because they never won the 5th generation either. The N64 was crushed. The GameCube was crushed, in terms of sales, I mean. And it's almost like, well, we're also going to talk about the Wii too. It's like, yeah, we got one, in the 7th gen. They didn't want to put the other consoles too much. I mean, it's an interesting comment, and he's right, though. I mean, I agree that it's not necessarily about power. It's about connecting with the fans, the demand. It's many different factors. It's not just power that wins a console war. As a matter of fact, it's about quality. It's about library. It's about exclusives, great games, that kind of thing. Word of mouth. Online access, multiplayer, that kind of thing. He had some really interesting comments, and I just don't think that he's not even really right about, winning. He's like, oh, well, the Wii won is basically what he's implying. The PS2 won. It's like the one that sells the most is the winner. Because when he uses terms like, okay, this thing won, this thing lost, when you use terms like that, it's very definitive. I don't necessarily see the Wii as the winner. It's definitely not a loser, and I don't see the 360 or the PS3 as losers, because each of them sold 80 million plus, around that number. That's pretty successful. The Wii might have sold, well, it did sell over 100 million, and that's good, but the Wii fell off heavily. The Wii was a high-selling system for various reasons. It was the cheapest system, and it had these gimmicky controls that many casuals picked up and wanted to try. I mean, I think people are forgetting that the reason people wanted the Wii, gamers initially wanted to play the Wii, and casual fans, all these people wanted to try the Wii, was because of the motion controls, and it was just a different type of game. It was a novelty. It wasn't necessarily about, the amazing, incredible, must-have AAA games on the Wii. It wasn't like the Wii had a chock full of incredible HD exclusives that were so unique and different. It was more about the goddamn fucking controls. That's what it was. And it was kid-friendly, perceived by parents, so they bought it for their kids. And grandmas and casuals, people who don't really play video games, played a Wii. They bought the Wii for that reason. Because they were curious to see what, Connect... did I just say Connect? God damn it. Wii Sports. I was about to say Connect Sports. And all the fucking things that the Wii inspired was stuff like the Kinect and PS Move. The casual heavy stuff. The motion sensor stuff. That kind of thing. So, I guess technically you could say from a sales point of view that the Wii definitely won. I mean, they sold the most, but I think it's not even about the sales, it's about how much money they generated. Longevity, consistency, that kind of thing. And on a per game basis, which system has had the most quality titles? That's the true winner. That's the real winner. And I would say maybe the PS3 actually won. Because the PS3 has outsold the 360. Ultimately, in the end, PS3 came out on top. It's still the most respected, in my opinion, out of all three systems. It's the most reliable. Well, the Wii is pretty reliable. I'm not going to bash too much on that. But like the 360 had its problems. And also PS3 has, the HD gaming. And it's got these exclusives like Last of Us and Uncharted, God of War, Heavenly Sword, all these different, Metal Gear Solid 4. All these different games available for it. PS3's library just shits all over the Wii's library, in my opinion. Just destroys it. And the 360 as well. 360 and PS3 destroy the Wii's library. The Wii has very few games that I'm remotely ever interested in. A few games here and there, but it's mostly casual shit. Mini games, party games, bullshit collection games. It's not that great of a system, really, if you take a look at its library, because it gets dragged down by a lot of the crap that came out for it. Ninja Bread Man, and all that shit. All that garbage, man. The Wii, I don't see it as the winner. I mean, I think Nintendo just wants to toot their own horn. They just want to brag and say, "Oh, look, check it out, the Wii won," and then now the Wii U might win because the Wii U, it might not be the most powerful, but hey, check it out, we have all these different exclusives coming out. It's all about the experience, blah 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 blah. Even though the Wii U is still in trouble. I mean, I think the system is just not doing well. It could be doing much better. To me, the Wii U is very GameCube-like in terms of perception, in terms of reputation. Like, people don't give a fuck about the Wii U, It's like, ugh. Why would I try that? There's nothing on there that I want, There's nothing interesting. The controls, whatever, who gives a shit? So, the Wii U, I think, is more like the GameCube. It's not going to be the PS2. The PS2 is going to be like the PS4, I think. The PS4 is selling like hotcakes. It's doing really well. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Nintendo, they're fucking up. It's like they could do so much better, and it's really their own fault. Nobody else to blame except for them. I mean, they had this really lame launch last year, and it was just kind of underwhelming. And then they lost a lot of these exclusive titles, like Rayman, and they lost a lot of the stuff that they promised. It's gonna take some time. I mean, I still am very interested in whatever they have upcoming, and out of all three, yeah, the Wii U is the one that I would personally root for, and compared to the other ones, just because it's the underdog. But I don't know. I mean, the Wii U is just to say that just because it's the weakest and therefore it might actually be the best selling, and it might be like the PS2 and the Wii. It's the fucking GameCube. And here's the answer to the question of the day.